Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And today, the video that people have been waiting for every month, but especially this month because it's the anniversary, we have the tier list update for the 4th anniversary Dragon Haki meta and other characters. So today we're going to go through and rank all these new characters, the free-to-plays, the protectors, and you can hear my judgment and explanation on why I think so, and then you can feel free to argue with me in the comments, as every tier list video on the internet does. But as a reminder, if this is your first time watching a tier list, the little icons you see on some of the characters right here, like Carrion and Gobta and Milim, these denote a couple different things. The little rainbow icon means that they have been skill fused, which means that they are an older character and the game devs have gone in and updated one or both of their skills to be a little bit stronger, a little bit better. That is what the little purple icon. So we have a normal Milim, and then we have a skill fused Milim. This normal Milim is base level. You pulled her, you didn't do anything. This Milim simply has her skill fusion for or two of her skills, and as you can see, I didn't really change her ranking at all. The other icon, the little elemental icon, means that they have received their EX Unbound upgrade. So this Summer Milim, base level, okay, she's an EX character. This Milim with the little icon is an EX Unbound Summer Milim. So she's a little bit stronger. She has another ability release board. She gets a little bit extra stats. Otherwise, not much has changed because she's already an EX character. But this Carrion and this Gobta, they were old 5-star characters. They did not have EX alts at all. When they get their EX Unbound upgrade, they get their EX alts. They can use 2 alt gauges to do extra damage. So it's more impactful for the really old characters than the current EXs because they already have EX alts. But otherwise, they don't change that much, quite honestly. But that's what the 2 icons mean. EX Unbound and Skill Fusion. Let's go ahead and get started. First off, for all the new players out there, this is the super old 5-star tier list. We don't get 5 stars anymore that are summonable. They're all EX Unbounds at this point. So this tier list really does not get updated anymore. But this is where, when we were getting them, this is where I ranked all these characters with their skill fusions. EXs weren't a thing, so EX upgrades didn't happen. But Guy and Lumi are the best picks for your Octagram emblems. The hero is still far and away probably one of the best characters out of the old 5-star pool. You could make a case for some of the others now with EX upgrades and everything, but this is just base 5 stars, and it goes all the way down to bitch ass Dino and non-EX upgraded, non-skill fused Daggerel, Adelman, Clayman, etc. So this is just the old 5 stars you probably can get from your tutorial multi. Next up, we have the free-to-play character. Only one update. There were no free-to-play skill fusions, so it is just the Trishula from Dragon Haki with his alt swap for 2 water characters to blue, and then his combo edition skill, and then the single convert for Dragon Haki. It's pretty limited, honestly. I'm not bringing him for a combo edition on a blue stacking team just for the funsies of it, so I would say he's quite limited, honestly. I don't know of any time that you're really going to use him on any other blue stacking team for his skills. So, I mean, he could be limited going into bad at that point. But for the Dragon Haki meta, the pure team, you do need his combo edition for the full 6-hand send on turn 6 when you only have 1 blue orb. There's ways to get around it, though. So he's definitely not super duper necessary. So he's just kind of, eh. You know what? I'm gonna put him into bad, actually, because if you don't need him on his own meta team, what's the point? Maybe some people will argue with me on that one, but his combo edition is 40 points to start out with. Water characters, alt swapping, like, sure, yeah, whatever. Not a big deal. So, you know what? I'm gonna put you in D tier. Next up are the protection characters. Shinsha, I mean, she does stack. She doesn't raise her skill cap, though. So she's kind of just meh. People might think that she deserves to be in like the D tier for meh. I don't know. Changes a full hand of oranges to blues. I mean, that's cool. stacks attack, and then gives you extra skill points on blues, which, cool, you gotta use this 10 times. But you're still gonna hit the 150 skill point cap. Like, you can't ever go over that. So, as a stacking free-to-play protector, it's not very good if you can't ever use more skills. Because at some point, your green orb change is gonna cost 100 points. And that means you can't use anything else in that turn. So, yeah, she's not a very good character. I'm gonna bump her down to trash tier. Veldora is odd because he has a super gimmick, the Dragon Souls, which can be very powerful if you can get all 6 of them, which requires, I mean, you can do it with free-to-play Trishula if you're really, really trying, and he got protection traits. I mean, he's not super whale necessary, but he is still difficult to run. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna just put him into, because he, at the core of it, he's stacking attack, which is not super good. Dragon Souls, triple damage, invincibility, weakness down, max skill points, max alt gauge. Like, that can be cool. You're not going to get it till turn 8, though. And there's no way to rush it, all those effects, earlier than turn 8. And you got to play into the gimmick. You got to have combo addition. He's got to have a lot of things to make him work super efficiently. So he's not going to be very good in the future. You can't ever use him on a burst team as a protector like you can for other stacking protectors like Himmel or Hestia or something. And he's not just a burst protector in general. He's the defense aspect of that skill is turn 8, well, turn 7, turn 8 only. So he's just okay. He doesn't blow me away. We're probably never going to use him again. And he's kind of just meh for an anniversary protector. Sad to say, but I think it's true. Alright, next up we're going to talk about the skill fusions and EX upgrades that we got for this meta. We have 3 skill fusions and 1 just normal EX upgrade. Well, we technically have 4, but one of them didn't get a skill fusion. So we have Earth Millum, Water Velzard, who are old 5-star characters that got upgraded. They're both still pretty bad because their skills are so outdated, and their skill fusions just are not enough to save them. So they're good support slots, especially with having 2 Millums, 2 of the big 3 being EX Unbound is just stats right there. That's cool, but they're not making an impact anywhere else. And then we have New Year's Shinsha. Where is New Year's Shinsha right now? She's up in A tier. Yeah, I think she deserves to stay there, though. Her skill fusion didn't change that much about her. She got like an extra 10% alt damage and 10% crit damage or something like that. And just because she's EX Unbound, again, of just an EX Unbound status by itself when you're already an EX character is not a massive upgrade. So while her skill fusion did make her better, I don't think it's good enough to push her up a tier like Millum's did, where she went from like 50% synergy to 100% synergy power. No. She just got 10% extra crit damage and a little bit extra ult. So not as impactful to move up a tier. Antagonist Shinsha, just getting an EX upgrade means that she does not really move. Where is Antagonist Shinsha? Not damage only. You're probably down here somewhere, huh? Antagonist Shinsha. Oh, I'm getting lost. Getting lost in the sauce. Oh, wow. She was up in great tier? We're gonna move her. We're gonna move her way down. We're moving her down to limited situational. Just because, like, her alt damage is only for light and dark characters. The pierce resistance down means you need someone to have pierce to begin with. Her orb change is antagonist only, which has been getting more units, but I mean, do we ever see this Shinsha used on teams that I showcase? Now that it's been a full year since she's come out? No. Man, that was a long time coming. Alright. Limited situational for Shinsha, and her EX upgrade doesn't really change her status at all. And now we come to the new characters for the Dragon Haki meta. We will start with a Mills. Because Emil's is a bit interesting. He's got the combo edition. He's got the future hand of Blue's convert for 2 orbs. He's got the transformation that gives him the rainbow orbs and the 200% EX alt damage. And then he's got the stacking up to 300% alt for everybody. I mean, that's pretty good. I don't know if he makes up to the second or first tier, but being an AoE water nuker who can give other teams an additional 300% alt damage while being an orb changer, while having the combo, while having rainbow orbs, like these are all fairly good things for an AoE nuker to have while having some kind of support buff for the rest of the team. I'll put him in great for now, and we'll see how often we really use his other skills in the future. He might drop down into good tier, but for now we'll put him in great because the alt damage is unrestricted, and the orb changing, we've seen in the Jubilee videos, we can use his combo edition skill to great use. If you only have 4 rainbow orbs for Mills, you can use that skill and you're going to act like you're sending 6. And then you get his ult. And when he's transformed, he's got the extra 200%. He's the nuking character. He's what you're trying to build around, and trying to get him his EX ult. And being self-sustainable in an aspect does make him a pretty good character with some other support. Moving on, we have Rimuru. Yeah, he's just not it, man. His super crit mechanic is a gimmick at best. It's, in my opinion, not very good, and I'm not impressed with him. I'm just not. For an anniversary level character, especially being a Rimuru, this kit is not good enough. Increases crit rate and super crit rate 100%. Crits at this point in the game are very underpowered compared to Aegis and Synergy. It's still better than Pierce, but like only by a bit. Alt resistance down by 20% is a joke on a 90-point skill. And then his combo edition also has the alt gimmick. It's not really useful. Again, he doesn't have any rainbow converting or future converting or anything. So you're really banking on just this skill and just giving crit and enhancing crit. It still doesn't give a lot of damage. It's not as much damage as you would think, even if you pair it with Velzard. So this Rimuru is just not impressive in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to put him down into C, with the potential for him even dropping down into the D tier in the future. Because if we don't ever use crit again, like he's going to the dump. So I think far and away the worst character to come out in this meta. Then we come to Velzard, who is, I think, a much better unit. But she does need someone to activate her crit buffs, which thankfully there are a number of characters that can do that, and the rest of her skills are very good. Drago to physical allies, weakness strike for 15% is a lot more reasonable on a 30-point skill than a 90-point skill. But Drago for physical means, like, we've got Scourge Wielder, we've got Warrior's Mind, we've got a lot of physical teams that you're going to want to buff even more with Drago, just for funsies. That's huge. And then the crit damage and crit resistance down, these are huge amounts of damage right here. Unfortunately, crit, like I just got done saying, is still a bit underpowered, but there are other characters who can activate crit. Fire Milim, New Year's Blessing Xion, Guy, other characters exist that can activate the crit rate, the Masked Hero, and we will get more of them in the future. So, and if you really want to fish, you can fish for a 2% crit rate, and then you can get a whole butt ton of damage for free on this. So she is a much better character than Rimuru. Does need someone to activate her skill, but she's good. She's not great because she still needs an activation of crit, but she can be good, verging on the great tier, depending on the scenario, especially if you're running a physical team. If you're not running a physical team, the Drago skill loses value because you're not doing anything to magic characters. You're still getting the weakness strike, but like that's nothing. So she needs someone to activate her. The Drago works for half of the game, not the entire game. A tier for you, which is a whole lot better than what Rimuru got. Sorry, Milim isn't trash. I can't put her back down here, but I had to re-record this section because I had a differing thought process going on. But now we have to rank Milim, the single target DPS of the meta, and she is pretty good. I like her a lot. Single target does hurt her a bit, but the fact that she can nuke literally anything, whether it be wind, space, dark, light, non-element, like type neutral, you can nuke them with super weak point or weak point and get a 240% damage increase and lower their defense to 0 is pretty huge. And then the attack 100% and physical attack damage 100%, that's a pretty strong support buff right there. It obviously helps her being a nuking character. It can also help other people. So maybe you don't have Warrior's Mind Blanc or Scourge Wielder Lumi, so you don't have a physical attack damage buffing character. Well, now you have one. And they're single target nuker, where this Lumi is also single target, but the Chaos gimmick only really plays into her and the Scourge Wielder team. Blanc obviously is Blanc. It's kind of hard to beat her. But this Milim, I think, can do a lot for people. The only thing that really holds her back is being single target. Otherwise, she doesn't take as long to build up as Emils does, because Emils needs minimum 3 turns to be at full power. He needs turn 1 to transform and then use his first stack. Turn 2 needs his second stack, and then turn 3 he can use his third stack of ult, therefore giving him the full 500%. But Milim, I mean, as long as you have the points, you can do whatever the hell you want. And she will nuke whoever it is in front of her. Doesn't matter if they're a different element or non-element, she will hit them. And she has a lot of multiplicative buffs going on. Physical attack damage is a double damage multiplier. She has a 240% multiplier on her Dragon's Eye. So I like her. She is a fairly self-sufficient nuking character. The idea is you would build a team around her to have her do a butt ton of additional damage, which is, what all DPS characters want. Why is she not down in the damage only tier? Well, that's simply because her second skill is just too damn strong. It supports half the game for physical attack damage, and everybody gets 100% attack. If this skill was more selfish than that, like some of the other nuking characters, then yeah, she would go into the damage only tier, because most of these characters really only help themselves. But Milim can help the rest of the team, right? She can give a physical attack damage. She can give attack. She can lower the enemy's defense down to 0, which in some cases does make a difference. So she's got 3 different ways that she can support other units besides just nuking the shit out of everything. So I'm going to put both her and Emils on the same tier. I think she would be amazing if she was AoE. If these two had flipped and they had the same kits, but Milim was the AoE, she would easily go up here with arguments I would hear for putting her up in the God tier. But being a single target does hold her back slightly, because a lot of events do want AoEs more often than not. Valor Cup, some of the challenge events, so she will hurt a little bit there. But she doesn't take as long to build up as Emils, which is good. So there's that kind of trade-off. Emils being the AoE but needs a couple turns, Milim being single target but good off the bat. I think I'm going to put them both in the same tier. But that is what I have for the 4th anniversary meta. Do you agree with my placement? How do you feel about Sorry Little Rimuru being all the way down here? Or do you think he belongs even lower? Let me know your thoughts, and let's have a fun little argument session in the comments. But that's it for me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.